Chosen one, stop everything and listen. This message did not reach you by accident. God is sending you a warning because you are already late. Something that should have started in your life long ago has finally been activated today. You felt the delays, the setbacks, the strange pressure in your spirit, but what you didn't know is that heaven has been waiting for you to move. God is saying, it's your time, but you're behind schedule. Wake up. Step into what I prepared for you. This message is not just a video, it is a divine alarm. Your destiny is knocking, and if you don't answer now, the door will shut again. So listen carefully, because what you're about to hear will change the direction of your life forever. Before we continue, do 3 things to align with God's energy. Like this video, comment, "God, I'm ready now," and subscribe to send your signal to the universe. Your moment starts now. God has been calling you for a long time. Chosen one, you may think this message reached you at the perfect moment, but God wants you to understand something deeper. He has been calling your name long before today. This moment is not new. This message is not new. What's new is your awareness. For years, you have felt small signs inside your heart. Those unusual feelings, those sudden moments of intuition, those quiet whispers telling you your life is meant for more. You didn't imagine those feelings. They were divine signals. They were reminders from God trying to pull you toward your real path. Think back on your life. There were phases where you felt uncomfortable, in situations that everyone else seemed fine with. You felt disconnected from certain people, certain habits, certain lifestyles, even if you couldn't explain why. There were days when you woke up with a strange heaviness, not because you were weak, but because your soul was tired of staying where it didn't belong. All of this was God's early call. He was trying to tell you, this isn't your final place. There's something greater waiting for you. But life got in the way. Fear stepped in. Doubt held your feet still. Family expectations made you second-guess yourself. Society told you to stay normal and safe. And because of that, you kept ignoring your inner voice. You pushed away signs. You convinced yourself that maybe your dreams were too big, or that maybe God forgot about you. But God never forgot you. He never stopped calling your name. He never stopped preparing your path. You were the one who got stuck in the noise of life, while God was trying to guide you through it. Sometimes you felt a deep urge to start something new. Maybe change your environment, end a toxic relationship, start a new journey, or focus on your growth. But something always made you wait. You kept delaying your rise. You kept shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You kept carrying burdens that weren't even yours. And through all this, God was watching you with love, waiting patiently for the day you would finally hear His voice clearly. This message reaching you today is not a random moment. It is a divine reminder that heaven has been waiting for you to catch up. You are late, not because you were wrong, but because your heart was busy healing. You went through pain, through loneliness, through emotional storms, not to break you, but to shape you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone spiritually awake. God doesn't call perfect people. He calls prepared people. And now, after everything you've survived, you are finally prepared. God is saying, you were chosen before anyone doubted you. You were chosen before the world tried to break you. You were chosen before you even knew your own strength. This message is your confirmation. You didn't miss your destiny. You're just arriving exactly when your soul is ready to understand it. This is your moment to hear what heaven has been saying all along. Rise. It's your time now. You delayed, because of pain and people. Chosen one, many times you blamed yourself for being late, for not reaching your goals sooner, or for not becoming the person you always wanted to be. But God wants you to understand a truth that will free your heart. You were never late because you were lazy, unmotivated, or weak. You were late because life handed you battles that were heavier than what most people ever experienced. While others were living normally, you were surviving storms that no one even knew existed. There were days when you wanted to move forward, but your heart felt too tired to take another step. There were nights when you cried silently because the weight of your pain was too much to carry alone. People looked at you and thought you were fine, but inside, you were fighting emotional wars that drained your strength. You weren't delaying your destiny out of choice. You were trying to heal wounds that life kept reopening. And then, there were the people around you, people who didn't see your heart, didn't value your soul, and didn't understand your purpose. Some of them used you. Some drained your energy without giving anything back. Some kept you stuck in cycles of stress, drama, or emotional confusion. You tried to help everyone. You tried to fix everything. But in the process, you lost parts of yourself. You gave your loyalty to people who didn't deserve it. You gave your time to those who only took advantage of it. And slowly, without realizing, your spirit became tired and your journey slowed down. Every time you tried to move toward your purpose, something pulled you back. Maybe it was a toxic relationship, a stressful environment, or people whose negativity poisoned your peace. Maybe it was responsibilities you never asked for but still carried because your heart is pure. Or maybe it was the emotional hurt that made you question your worth. Your delay wasn't because you lacked direction. It was because you were constantly forced to fight battles that had nothing to do with your destiny. But God saw it all. He saw the tears that never fell in front of anyone. He saw the wounds you hid with a smile. He saw how much strength it took for you to keep going when everything inside you felt broken. And now God is saying, enough. You have carried burdens for far too long. You have poured yourself into people who only drained you. You have stayed in places that dimmed your light. And every time you tried to rise, life gave you another challenge. But the delay ends now. God is lifting the weight off your shoulders. He is removing the people who slowed your spirit, the situations that drained your energy, and the pain that kept you stuck. You were delayed, yes, but you were not denied. Your destiny never left you. It simply waited for you to heal enough to walk into it with strength and clarity. Your pain didn't block your blessing. It prepared you for it. And now God is saying, rise. It's your turn. Nothing can stop you anymore. Your spirit is waking up because heaven is pressuring you. Chosen one, if you've been feeling different lately, more emotional, more sensitive, more alert, don't ignore it. This is not a mood swing. This is not stress. This is not just a phase. What you're feeling right now is spiritual pressure. It's the signal that heaven sends when you're late stepping into your destiny. God is waking your spirit up because you've stayed asleep for too long. Your soul knows something big is coming, and it's trying to push you into position before you miss it. You may have noticed that your mind doesn't enjoy the same old routines anymore. The things that once entertained you suddenly feel empty. The people you once talked to daily now feel distant. The environments you used to stay comfortable in now feel too small for your soul. This is spiritual evolution. When God prepares you for a new chapter, He disconnects you from anything that doesn't match your next level. You might also feel restless, like your heart is calling for a change, but you can't explain why. You may wake up with strange emotions, sometimes energized, sometimes heavy, sometimes confused. You may even feel like something is off in your life, even when everything on the outside looks normal. That feeling is your spirit saying, "You're not meant to stay here anymore. It's time to move." The discomfort is intentional. God uses it to push you out of places you've outgrown. There can also be moments when your intuition becomes stronger than ever. You sense things before they happen. You feel when someone's energy is good or bad. You notice signs around you, numbers, dreams, coincidences, messages that seem too specific to ignore. These are not random. These are heaven's way of saying, "Pay attention. Your destiny is calling." When your spirit becomes awake, your awareness becomes sharper because God doesn't want you to miss the path He's opening. You may also feel emotionally sensitive. Suddenly, you can't tolerate toxicity, fake people, gossip, or meaningless drama. Your soul rejects anything that lowers your vibration because you're being prepared for something higher. You're becoming spiritually hungry. You want peace, purpose, growth, clarity. You want change, even if you're not sure what that change looks like yet. This hunger is not accidental. It's heaven shaking your soul, telling you, there's more for you. Get ready. Sometimes, the awakening shows up as a push to take action. You feel the urge to clean your space, restart your goals, end certain connections, or step into a new lifestyle. These impulses come from above. They're not coming from your mind. They're coming from your destiny. God is aligning your spirit with your next season and removing anything that could slow you down. This spiritual pressure is love. It's God refusing to let you settle for less. It's heaven refusing to let your destiny go to waste. You are being prepared, guided, and activated because your next chapter is already written, and God needs you present for it. Doors are about to close if you don't move. Chosen one, this point is not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. God is sending you a strong warning. If you don't move now, certain doors will close. Not because you're unworthy, and not because God is punishing you, but because some opportunities only stay open for a short time. Blessings have windows, miracles have timing, and your moment is happening right now. That's why your spirit feels urgency. That's why your heart feels pressure. That's why this message reached you today. Not yesterday, not next week, today. Think about it. How many times in the past did you feel a push to take action, but you hesitated? How many times did you get chances, but fear whispered, "Not yet"? How many moments did God send signs, but you ignored them because you didn't feel ready? Every delay didn't destroy your blessing, but it slowed your path. And now, heaven is saying, this can't be delayed anymore. You're standing at a spiritual doorway that won't stay open forever. Some people think God gives unlimited chances, but that's not how purpose works. When God prepares something for you, He expects you to step forward with courage. If you don't move, life moves on. The blessing doesn't disappear, it simply goes to someone who was prepared to receive it. This is why your soul feels anxious when you stay where you don't belong. This is why you're uncomfortable in your old life. God isn't trying to pressure you for no reason. He's trying to stop you from missing what He already prepared. You may not see the full picture yet, but something is aligning for you, behind the scenes. A new opportunity, a new connection, a new path. Something is waiting for you on the other side of this doorway. But you must walk through it. God can show the door, but He won't force your feet to move. This is your moment to take that first step, even if it's small, even if you're scared, even if you don't know what will happen next. Your courage activates your destiny. You might feel like you don't have all the answers. You may feel unprepared. You may feel unsure. But chosen ones rarely feel ready before their biggest breakthroughs. God isn't asking for perfection. He's asking for movement. He's saying, trust me enough to walk forward instead of staying stuck. The door is open right now because the timing is right for you. Too many things have shifted in your life recently for this to be a coincidence. If you wait too long, the path you're meant to take might shift. The people you're supposed to meet may move in another direction. The season you're designed for could pass. And deep inside, you already know this. That's why your intuition feels louder. That's why your old life feels too small. God is showing you that your next chapter is ready, but it requires action from your side. You were protected in delays, not punished. Chosen one. One of the biggest misunderstandings you've ever carried is the belief that your slow progress meant something was wrong with you. You looked at others moving faster, achieving earlier, finding opportunities easily, and you wondered, why is my life so slow? Why am I stuck? But God needs you to see the truth from His side. You weren't being punished. You were being protected. Sometimes the speed of your journey is not about your effort. It's about timing, alignment, and safety. If God had allowed certain blessings to come earlier, they would have fallen into the wrong environment. You might have celebrated your success surrounded by people who secretly hated you. You might have trusted people who only wanted to use you. You might have stepped into doors that looked beautiful from the outside but were full of traps on the inside. God saw what you didn't. He heard conversations you didn't know about. He saw hearts you thought were loyal but were not meant for your destiny. So instead of letting you run into danger, He slowed you down. It wasn't your timing that was the problem. It was the people around you. You were emotionally softer back then. You trusted too easily. You loved too quickly. You forgave too fast. If the blessing had come during your unhealed season, it might have been destroyed by the very hands you would have tried to help. God had to toughen your spirit, sharpen your intuition, and train your heart. You needed to learn who is for you and who is against you. You needed to grow into someone who could handle the level of blessing coming your way. Delays also protected you from yourself. When you were younger, you were not ready for the responsibility, pressure, or attention that your destiny carries. You needed time to mature, to learn patience, to discover your purpose, and to build inner strength. If the blessing had come too soon, it might have crushed you instead of elevating you. God waited until you were strong enough to hold it. Look back for a moment. Every delay you faced brought a lesson. Every closed door built your character. Every disappointment shaped your wisdom. Every heartbreak taught you what real love and loyalty look like. If you hadn't gone through those experiences, you wouldn't be the powerful person you are becoming today. The version of you that exists right now is not the same person from years ago. You see life differently. You understand people better. You handle pain with strength. You walk with awareness. This growth didn't happen by accident. It happened through the delays God designed for your protection. And now, because you've healed, because you've grown, because your spirit has matured, God is saying, it's time. You are being separated from everything that slows you down. Chosen one, if you've been losing connections, feeling distant from certain people, or noticing that your circle is getting smaller, don't panic. You are not becoming isolated. You are being elevated. What looks like loneliness is actually God clearing your path. What feels like silence is God removing noise. What seems like loss is actually protection. This season of separation is not a punishment, it's preparation for your next chapter. There was a time when you had a big circle, people around you, conversations everywhere, constant messages, constant distractions, but slowly, you began to feel disconnected. You stopped relating to the same old jokes. You stopped enjoying meaningless gossip. You started seeing truths about people you once trusted. And out of nowhere, you began losing interest in things that once kept you busy. That shift didn't come from your mind. It came from your spirit. When God wants to take you higher, He first removes the weight that's holding you down. Some people in your life were blocking your growth without you even realizing it. Their energy was heavy. Their intentions weren't pure. Their presence kept you stuck in old patterns. Maybe they were jealous. Maybe they were draining. Maybe they were keeping you small because they were afraid of your potential. God saw all of this long before you did. And because you couldn't walk away on your own, He did the separation for you. You might notice that you don't talk to certain people anymore, even if nothing dramatic happened. The conversation just faded. The connection just dissolved. That's divine intervention. God doesn't always remove people with loud fights. Sometimes He removes them with quiet distance. When someone is not meant to walk into your future, God simply makes the connection weak until it naturally falls apart. You may also notice yourself feeling uncomfortable in environments you used to enjoy. Places that once felt fun now feel draining. Rooms you once fit into now feel too small for your spirit. This is because you're outgrowing the level you used to survive on. God is shifting your energy, your mindset, and your desires so you can match the level of the blessing that's coming. Being separated doesn't mean you're alone. It means you're being prepared. You are being placed in a season where distractions are removed so you can hear God clearly. You are being sent into a quieter space so your intuition becomes sharper. You are being pulled away from negativity so your spirit can rise without interference. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable at first. Change always does. But soon, you will realize that everyone who left was not meant for the next stage of your life. Your destiny requires a new circle, new energy, new environments, and new connections. And God is clearing the old to make room for the new. This separation is your sign of elevation. You are not losing people. You are shedding weight. You are not becoming empty. You are becoming aligned. God is saying, let them go. I'm preparing you for better. Your gifts are rising because God wants you in position. Chosen one, if you've been noticing changes inside yourself, more confidence, sharper intuition, deeper awareness, or a new sense of clarity, understand that these shifts are not random. They are spiritual signals. God is activating gifts inside you that have been sleeping for years. These gifts are waking up now because your assignment is getting closer. Heaven needs you in position, and your spirit is adjusting so you can step into the role you were born for. Maybe you've recently started understanding things faster. Maybe you feel more spiritually connected, even if you can't explain it. Maybe you sense people's intentions more accurately. Maybe your inner voice feels louder than ever. This is not imagination. This is spiritual maturity. God is sharpening you because what you're stepping into will require strength, wisdom, and awareness. For a long time, you doubted yourself. You underestimated your abilities. You questioned your purpose. But now, something inside you is shifting. You are becoming more confident in your decisions. You're speaking up more. You're trusting your intuition. You're identifying what feels right and what feels wrong. These are signs that your gifts, intuition, wisdom, discernment, leadership, are being activated. God doesn't give gifts without a purpose. The abilities rising inside you are connected to something bigger than your personal life. You are meant to guide, inspire, or influence people in ways you may not fully understand yet. Maybe your purpose is to heal others with your words. Maybe it's to lead a community. Maybe it's to create something meaningful. Art, work, ideas, love that will impact the world. Your gift is the key to your mission, and God is preparing you to use it. This rising inside you is also a sign that your environment is changing spiritually. When God pushes you into your calling, He upgrades your sensitivity. You start noticing things you overlooked before. You feel energies more clearly, good and bad. You understand who is genuine and who isn't. This is God sharpening your discernment so you don't let the wrong people into the next stage of your life. Your confidence is growing because God is removing your old identity, fearful, unsure, doubting, and giving you a stronger version of yourself. You are becoming someone who can handle blessings, responsibilities, and breakthroughs without being overwhelmed. This transformation is necessary because your destiny requires a strong, awakened version of you. Maybe you feel driven lately, like something inside you is pushing you to improve, to learn, to grow, to move forward. That's heaven nudging you. God is saying, prepare yourself. Your moment is coming. You have work to do. You're not just developing new skills, you're stepping into your divine identity. You are rising because God is aligning you with your purpose. You are awakening because your season is shifting. You are being strengthened because your destiny is calling. Your gifts are not just talents, they are spiritual tools, and God is handing them back to you because it's time for you to lead. A major shift is happening that needs your presence. Chosen one, something big is happening around you right now, even if you can't fully see it yet. The energy in your life is changing. The atmosphere around you feels different. You may sense movement, pressure, or a strange calm before something new begins. This is not your imagination. This is a spiritual shift, a new timeline, a new chapter, a new version of you is being opened by God. But here's the most important part. This shift requires your presence. Your destiny is unfolding, but you must show up for it. You may have noticed little signs, doors opening unexpectedly, old patterns breaking, new ideas coming to your mind, or sudden motivation to change your life. These signs are not random. They are hints that heaven is rearranging things for your benefit. People who were not meant for your future are slowly fading away. Situations that limited you are collapsing. Paths you couldn't see before are becoming clearer. This is God's way of telling you, prepare yourself. The next phase is beginning. Right now, resources, opportunities, and connections are aligning in the background. Someone you haven't met yet is going to play an important role in your future. A chance you didn't expect is moving toward you. A blessing with your name on it is getting closer. But none of these things can activate fully unless you are spiritually awake and mentally ready. God needs your commitment. God needs your focus. God needs you to step into your role with confidence. This shift will elevate your life, but it also demands responsibility. You cannot enter this new chapter with the same mindset you had in your old one. You cannot stay passive or silent when God is calling you forward. Think about it. If a miracle is walking towards you, but you stand still, the timing will break. You must walk toward it too. You must respond to the spiritual pull inside you. You may feel like something is pushing you to act, to grow, or to change something about your life. That inner push is heaven saying, move, don't wait. Staying in the same place mentally, emotionally, or spiritually will only delay your blessing further. You've already arrived late. God doesn't want you to fall behind again. This major shift also brings clarity about your identity. You're being shaped into a stronger, wiser, more awakened version of yourself. The old you, the one who doubted, feared, and hesitated, cannot enter this new timeline. God is calling forward the version of you that's brave, intuitive, and aligned with your purpose. Inside you, something is rising, preparing you for the opportunities coming your way. Every blessing needs the right version of you to receive it. Every miracle needs the right mindset to hold it. Every shift needs your presence, not your absence. God is saying, stand up. You are already late. The blessing is ready, but it's waiting for you. This is your moment. This is your shift. This is your chapter. This warning is not to scare you. It's to wake your power. Chosen one, understand this clearly. God is not sending you this warning to frighten you. He is sending it because He knows exactly how powerful you are, even if you sometimes forget it yourself. This is not a message of fear. It is a message of activation. When God sees that one of His chosen ones has been sleeping on their own potential, He shakes them, wakes them, and pulls them forward. You are not being warned because something bad is coming. You are being warned because something big is coming. And God needs you awake to receive it. For too long, you've been moving gently, quietly, almost cautiously through life. You've held back your voice, your strength, your ideas, your dreams. Maybe people around you made you doubt your worth. Maybe life drained your courage. Maybe pain made you smaller than what you truly are. But God didn't design you to blend in. He designed you to stand out. You have a calling that stretches far beyond your fears. You have a purpose that carries power, light, and transformation, not just for yourself, but for others too. The reason this message reached you is because heaven is reminding you who you are. You are not ordinary. You are not random. You are not here by accident. You were chosen to break generational patterns, to step out of cycles your family never escaped, to achieve things nobody expected, and to rise higher than anything you've ever imagined. Your soul carries strength that no one can take from you. But that strength remains hidden until something awakens it. This warning is the awakening. God is telling you, stop dimming your light. Stop running from your purpose. Stop shrinking just because others can't handle your shine. You have survived pain, betrayal, loneliness, delays, and heartbreak. And instead of breaking you, it shaped you. It made you more resilient. It made you wiser. It made you spiritually sharper. All those storms weren't punishments. They were preparation. You're not fragile anymore. You're not lost. You're ready. The delay in your life ends now because the version of you God needs is finally emerging. You are stepping into a season where you must use your gifts boldly. Whether it's your voice, your mind, your creativity, your leadership, your intuition, or your compassion, God puts something powerful inside you that needs to be activated. You are being called forward because the world around you is shifting and your presence is needed. This is your moment to stop doubting yourself and start claiming what was always yours. Stand tall, step forward, speak with confidence. Trust your intuition. Move with purpose. You are not late because you failed. You're late because your mission is big. and preparation takes time.